THETA and Veritasium were like the only coins up today. This morning anyways, on CoinMarketCap. Again, that's a rolling 24-hour deal there, but you know, I saw Veritasium rocket to over $100. It was like $66 or something. I remember seeing Big Weir's video come out and he's talking about, you know, getting it, and that thing was rocketing over $100. And then I look again, like shortly after, and it's down to like 82 or something. I'm like, what the hell? It was still up, I mean, granted, but one hell of a pump, and then came back down. So maybe some people took some profits, obviously, but THETA, man, THETA was down to 17 cents. Was the low, last 24-hour period. And this morning, it's like, I think it's almost 20.7. THETA. Yeah, 20.6, so yeah, almost, not quite 21, 20 and a half, you could say. But it's in the green, you know, it's always good. Especially when we just saw what had just happened with the market going down, knowing most of us are in, you know, again, if you got in when I first called it, and I gave that out in the trade call group first, you know, like I say, I always give them any kind of information or something I think I got good, hey, I'll give it to them first, obviously. But it was 12.5 cents when I said that. Got up to 13.2. Next day, or I don't know if it was a day or 2 days later. Maybe it was, because I feel like I did it on Friday. We went to 13.2 or so on Saturday, and I'm talking when we first did this. And then Sunday was like 11.9 or something, and something was just telling me like, get some more, get some more. You know, people at work, your boss, you know, they're probably gonna want some. All right, yeah. So basically, I was still cost averaging around 12.5 cents. So when they, sure enough, they wanted some, so I gave it to them at my price that I got it at, you know, at that time. Now, granted, I'm not gonna do that today. Hey Joe, you got any more of those THETA? Yeah, I got some, but I ain't gonna give them up at no 12.5 cents. You know, you're gonna pay today's market price if that's the case. And honestly, I don't even think I'd give any of mine away now, or even not necessarily give it away, but you know, look, you want some, I'll go get you some. You know, some of my people at work or whatever that don't have the skill set to, you know, or at least confidence to go out and do an order kind of a thing. And in fact, I need to grab that. Got a little update on the VPN phones today. I don't want to leave that in my back seats, or else I'll forget it when I go into work, when I need to not forget it. So, yeah, so anyways, look, I was thinking about my video last night, which I'm trying to think, maybe I guess went out this morning, or did I release it last night? I don't remember. Talking about cryptos, you know, and I'm like trying to tell everybody, look, let's look back at 2017. You know, we've got a 40-something% drop off here in a matter of 2 weeks, you know. And to be fair, to equate or to equal that, we need to go farther down right now. What's today? The 11th, I believe. You double check. Yeah, Monday the 11th. And I know I was showing you that little chart from was it OSS.cc? That guy Rob always sends me stuff. And where he showed from 2010 to 2017 average, you know, every single month between the 7th and the 15th, basically, it would tend to go down. And I'm now that I'm driving and not looking at it, I can't remember, was that just Bitcoin or was that the whole market? But the bottom line is, if Bitcoin's doing it, pretty much the whole market's going to do it anyways. Yeah, there'll be the occasion, like late last year sometimes you'd see the main coins like Bitcoin not really going down, but the altcoins were, and not necessarily huge, but then it would flip-flop, and then the altcoins would go down a little bit, and Bitcoin and the other main coins, Ethereum, whatever, were going up. And then that stopped, and then now it's back to when the market's down, the market's down, you know, and the market's up kind of a thing. So I just think of, you know, how impatient some of, I'll say us, you know, some of you guys, you know, I don't include myself because I'm not impatient, I'm not. But I can see it in some of the comments, and, you know, I can see it. You gotta understand, nothing has happened fast in crypto all these years, and then all of a sudden, remember we got into November, Thanksgiving, and it was one of the most talked about things over the dinner table. Crypto, people telling other family members crypto. So what happened? Holidays, you know, is over, boom, we're getting into December, and then we're hitting new all-time highs. We're getting closer to Christmas, we hit pretty much an all-time high around that time. Remember, Bitcoin rocketing up to practically touching $20,000. Litecoin, again, on Coinbase was 420, everywhere else is about 372 on average. I mean, big numbers. And then we got January, the altcoins really started pumping in the first half, and then that was it. Then everything else, the whole market started and has continued to go down. But all you have to do, you do it yourself. You pick up, you know, you get a laptop, computer, whatever you got, phone even, and go look at previous year charts. Let's not forget, this whole trading stuff and waiting and hodling, it is a transfer of wealth from the impatient to the patient. I just sent myself a video, you know, that's what I usually do. I'll send myself an email, do a video, and then I'll just link to the article I want to talk about. And it's a short article, but it was about Venezuela. Or, Nicolas Maduro. And the 14,000% devaluation, or, you know, hyperinflation. And according to local Bitcoin stats, and you know that what that is, it's a website called Local Bitcoins, where you can go anywhere and say, hey, I've got some Bitcoin or other coins to sell, or I want to buy. You can meet people in person, you know, that kind of thing. You negotiate the price, and done. And their stats for Venezuela are showing huge increases of people buying and selling Bitcoin. Why would that be? Because at the rate of hyperinflation that country is experiencing, it doesn't matter that Bitcoin was just whatever it got to, $7,700, $7,800, whatever it was at the high recently, and it is now $6,700, $6,800. Oh, $1,000 wiped off that. But when you got 14,000% inflation happening, what they're saying is going to happen this year, you will gladly buy that Bitcoin over there at that price of $7,000, even $8,000, and watch it drop to $6,000 and still understand, oh my God, I'm still massively up due to the hyperinflation that's happening. So I'm thinking to myself, reading that article, we've got Italy, which George Soros and folks are not happy about, but Italy is basically going to, everything I'm reading, they're going to pull a Brexit, you know, an Ital-exit, if you will. And these people who have taken over Italy now, the government, are kind of like a Donald Trump. Now, unless they're faking everything, and it don't seem to be, because they are immediately getting on the whole, get the migrants out of here, stop them from coming in, how do we deport them, you know. And we've got all this debt, we've got all this banking problems, we don't want to be a part of the EU, this is part of the problem, we're going to create our own money. Right, everybody heard talks about that. So, point is, there's going to be some instability. And some people somewhere, whether it's the Italian people or other people who stay in the EU, while that thing implodes, someone's going to be feeling some pain. These are also the same countries that are very unhappy with what Donald Trump just did. You guys can't hit us with tariffs and us not to get you back with anything. Or yours are way higher and ours are tiny. Like, We got to level the playing field. That's what he was saying, Donald Trump. And again, all I see is that picture of Angela Merkel on the front, on the table like a bulldog, just staring at him. And look at her. And he's sitting there like this, hands crossed. Lady, do you know who you're talking to? That's what he didn't have to say it. His body language said it all. Do you have any idea who you're talking to? I represent the American people, and we will not be sucked off of any longer. You will not suck the wealth out of our country. But the problem is, they're all dependent upon it. Their whole system was set up. Just like Lindsey Williams used to talk about the oil cartels over in, the Middle East. Saudi Arabia, all those countries, we brought them up, we gave them all this high-dollared oil, priced, and they have to have, and I don't remember the numbers these days, but I think he said and this was years ago what they needed, it couldn't go below $90. If they don't have $90 a barrel oil, they're going to start getting in trouble, getting into more debt, and that was the plan. So he talked about when you remove that price, and we dropped it down to $50 for quite a while, 50, 60, back down to 50, 40, 50, we put some serious pressure on them. For them to function as a country in their current, status in the world, if you will, and the lifestyle the people there have been living was based upon $90 oil. And that just got, had been cut for a while. Therefore, the lifestyle of the whole country has to change. So what Donald Trump is telling the rest of the EU and the world, and China, all of them, Canada, whatever lifestyles you guys have, I'm sorry, but it's going to have to change. Why? Because you're not going to suck that wealth in order just to keep you where you are, while still getting massively in debt, by the way, off of America while we're also in debt. So that's going to stop, right? So they didn't like that. So what happens when there's turmoil, price problems, and food costs, and paying your bill, all these things, got all these migrants coming over in the EU, not contributing. When any kind of little issue happens in a monetary system in any country, there'll be a few who see it right off the bat, maybe even in advance, and say, I'm getting the hell out of here. I got a subscriber that was from Venezuela. He came over here. I think he got his citizenship and everything. He deals with car auctions, buys and sells. He does well. He does good for himself. He, quote, made it. He made it in life. He's not one of these Democrat, liberal people. You're a victim. You're never going to make it in this country. He decided, I'm leaving that place. I'm coming over here and I'm going to make something of myself, and he did. And he's been doing it successfully. But he told me, Joe, I came from there. I believe it was literally Venezuela. And I'm talking years and years and years and years ago. And he said, I saw it coming. A lot of people didn't see it, but I saw it coming. And I knew I had to get out of there. And he did. Because even if he stayed, let's fight for it. What are you going to fight with? Pretty sure those people don't have guns. Pretty sure they can't take over their government and fix the problem themselves. Like a revolution would do. So, he said, "Out the hell with that, I'm out of here." Now he doesn't have to deal with 14,000% hyperinflation. He's got a job, he's paying his bills, right? He's into crypto. He sees that too, right? He saw that coming too. He also recognized that, I got to get into crypto. So there's going to be other scenarios where people in other countries see something, feel something, experience something that says, I don't like what I'm seeing. I got to get my money out of that. And I think I'll put it over here. And when they say over here, they're talking about cryptos. Again, let's compare them to gold and silver. And again, I got all my silver, haven't sold a lick of it. I even got more silver from friends, a couple friends basically, that said, hey, I'm going to probably end up selling this. Do you want to get it from me and then you can just give me some crypto, because that's what I'm going to do with the money anyways. You know what? What the hell? This is several months ago. Yeah, I'm sure. I'll take some more silver. I'll give you some of my Litecoin, then you can convert it or do whatever you want. Okay. So it worked out. But even that, like, imagine having to lug around gold and silver coins and, you know what I mean, with you to do stuff. Doesn't make sense. Not this day and age. But, you know, a couple hundred years ago, even less than that, it did make sense. But it's still a store of value, and I respect that, and it's got a lot of history, so I'm going to make sure I have myself some precious metals just in case, and they're still where I have them. But for young people who are going to be taking over things as we get older, right? They have a freaking phone glued to their hands constantly. I mean, hell, you and I do for the most part. Even us, you know, and I'm 40. Some of y'all maybe 50, 60, 70. And I know some of you guys for sure have phones too. Smartphones at that. Not just a regular phone, a smartphone. You know, your apps and got your Blockfolio on there. It's so easy to just do something on the phone, send a payment, whatever, you know. That's going to be the future. And since there's nothing else out there coming up, blockchain's the only new thing. It's an open ledger, right? Again, it just makes sense. That's why I am super, super bullish on crypto. I don't care that they're down right now. Why? Because this has already happened, you know, 17, you know, whatever other times. Like in the last, you know, year and a half, whatever. And it's not going to be anything new. It'll continue to happen. Even when the market cap gets to over, say, $1 trillion, the same thing's going to happen. Oh, back down to 700 billion. Oh, it's the end of the crypto market. No, it's not. It's doing what it has done the last 27 times now, you know. And then when it's 2 trillion and 5 trillion, it's just, when you have a system or technology or what have you that makes something better, faster, safer, whatever it is, whatever it offers, and sometimes it offers multiples of those things, it's going to replace something, right? No one's going to start using that and then say, you know, it fixes this, it fixes that, it can do that better, it's this. But we don't, let's just go back to the old way. While the old way is already staring you in the face, failing. This whole financial system we have these days, in other words. The EU, printing and printing and printing and buying up shares and bonds, just keep going. No, keep going. Bank stocks, just keep going. Like I said the other day, wouldn't you like to be able to start a public company, right? You create a company, go public, you got shares, and all of a sudden you've got a bank somewhere, central bank, basically the government, if you will, just throwing money at you to buy your shares of your company, which are pushing the prices up. And you, as the shareholder, the big guy, you know, your company, and you've got your partners and stuff, and you got your board of directors and everything else, and hell, everybody's loving life. Anybody that invests in your company is making money. Not because of what your company does. Your company could be a completely empty office space, matter of fact. It's just because you got an entity there buying up all your bonds, basically. Time to switch lanes and get away from this truck. So again, I'm bullish. Joe, are you a perma-bull? I am when it comes to cryptos, at least for the foreseeable future, as in the next several years. Now, granted, there'll be a point in time when it's just so common and it's so everywhere and it's so into everything, cryptos, that it can't just keep being the next, best thing since sliced bread. Like, it's not going to happen. It'll reach a point. But in my opinion, we're so far away from that. We got a long time of the getting good. But you're going to experience these sell-offs. Oh, starts to recover. Nope, tricked you. Down. Oh, there it is. Nope, got you again. Yeah, but the cycle showed that. Yeah, got you again. And you're going to have all these things telling you, wow, maybe it's different this time. Man, maybe it's different this time. But I always go back to all those other times when it went down, and went down pretty heavy duty. Maybe it's different this time. And it wasn't. Patience, boom, new all-time high. And again, last year, it took a while sometimes to get back to the all-time high. And really, if you look at it, it really took to the end of the year to do it. So we might see something similar this year. All I know is I'm invested. I'm absolutely hodling. I bought some more THETA, bought some more Digibyte, a couple other coins I decided to get. And I'm not, and these were not trade, like I'm getting into the trade. These were like, hey, I think I want to add these to my portfolio. Just because. I mentioned the key the other day, right? That was one of them. The key, it's all one word. It's a crypto that runs on the Neo blockchain. I did a video the other day, so if you search for JSNIP4 or Realist News, the key, all one word, the key, you'll find a little how-to video. Because there's a wallet called Neon, which is like Neon, and you add like a little contract ID in there, which I have in the video, which enables it to see the key on its blockchain, basically, kind of like Ethereum, you know, where you just send it to your address, your Ethereum address, the next thing you know, these coins show up or whatever, similar to that. But remember, Neo, the Chinese went crazy about it. The thing got up to, I'm trying to think, 100 and something, or was it over 200 or 300 and something? Pretty high. Came back down, 50, 60 bucks. Today it's probably $40 or $50. I don't even know. I'm not, you know, I'm not gonna pick up my, well, I am at a red light. Why don't we just take a little look-see? Neo, 44.82. But the key rides on the Neo blockchain, and it's a facial recognition and that sort of thing. Not just facial recognition, but it does, you know, database, like, you know, someone's information stored in a database. Again, governments are going to love it, especially the Chinese government, which is where both of these entities are out of, basically. Not the government, but China. Neo, the Chinese loved it. It was their thing. The key is also ran by a Chinese group. So Michelle White-Dove said she felt like at the end of this year, or possibly early next year, that time frame basically, that China would start, the government would start backing off their harsh stance on cryptos, ICOs, and everything else that we've all followed. You know, that whole scenario. So if that happens, Neo's going to go really good. It's going to do real well. In my opinion, I mean, obviously, right? China back in business again. The key, the government of China should love that thing anyways. It's going to help them do one of the things they've been talking about doing right now, which is more facial recognition stuff. It's exactly what they could use it for. And God help anybody that has any of those tokens, the key tokens. Should China decide, yeah, we're going full force, I mean, they already are with facial recognition and that sort of stuff, but decide, hey, we'll go ahead and use this company over here, the key, or maybe some whatever company of China decides to use the key. So maybe it's a third party, but and nonetheless, the key is used. God help anybody who's got those tokens in a very positive way. That's why I'm adding it to my portfolio. Should that not happen, again, I think the old adage from Cliff High, rising tides raise all ships, it would do okay anyways. But it might do incredibly well should what I just say happens. So that's why I added that one. But I added more Digibyte recently, very recently, and more Theta. So I was pleased to see Theta down to 17 cents is back up to 20.5 cents, 20.6 last time I looked. During this, once again, down market. So I'm pleased with that Michelle White-Dove pick. Very pleased with it. I'm very happy about that so far. Just to see the resilience of this thing when the market's taking a beating. Sure, it came down too, but I think I got a little eyelash here. But it like bounces right back. And unfortunately, I didn't get any Theta at 17 cents, but I did get a few cents higher than that. So, again, is it in the longer term scheme of things, does it matter if I got some more at 17 cents? Maybe I paid 20 cents, maybe I paid 21, whatever it is. Does it really matter if Theta is going to be dollars, hopefully in the near future, right? And then tens of dollars. Maybe in, year and a half or whatever. 2 or 3 years later, the thing's, 80, 90, $100. Another year or two, it's, again, fingers crossed, like she said, 1,000 or more. I mean, again, that's tough to even say. I'll be honest with you. That's tough for even me, Permable, to say. But I do have faith in that woman, and I think just looking at what THETA has done already, I think she's going to be right. And I follow them, THETA, on Twitter and everything, and it was kind of like a subsidiary of the Sliver.tv thing going on. And they're huge on gaming and streaming and prizes, and you can pay for things and even digital assets and things with THETA. So I'm like, not only that, again, it's going to be the future content delivery network system. Everything that you do online that has anything to do with the word streaming, whether it's audio, video, whatever, especially video, it is, again, what I said earlier, it is a superior technology that's replacing something old. The old, get a data center, maybe 2 or 3, whoever's closest to those data centers, that's the ones that you'll get. You know, you'll get, like when you watch YouTube videos or Vimeo. And Vimeo's one where outside the country, sometimes it really sucks. And it's, you know, it's buffering, you gotta wait a minute. When you have something like THETA, and I'll just give you an example. Let's just say YouTube decided at some point in the future we're going to use THETA. It just makes sense or whatever. And they use THETA. They no longer have to deal with any of the data center stuff, the servers, the hard drives, even some of the personnel they have to hire to deal with all it. Just kind of goes away. But someone in the middle of some remote area, let's say, or another country, somewhere in India, and locally they've got data, but going internationally to get the video basically where it's stored at in some data center in the United States, it's lagging, it's slow, right? You've got all this bandwidth going across the country, across the world basically to get from point A to point B. However, in a system that's using THETA and all these people's PCs, you've decided, yeah, I'll install the THETA app on my PC and let my THETA my PC become a node, and you can use some of my bandwidth, and you can use some of my hard drive space, and maybe there's all these little settings you can put in there, what kind of bandwidth you might be able to set, or how much of my hard drive space, percentage wise, how much, you know, that sort of thing. And what happens is whoever's closest to the person who wants to watch the video, that's where it gets streamed from. So someone in India who's decided, yeah, I've got some huge hard drive space here, and I've got a bunch of these YouTube videos or whatever it is that ultimately get shared on their PC. They don't get to pick, by the way. It's just the system does it for you. But now all of a sudden, sure, it had to grab that initially from the United States, let's say. Now it's sitting over on their node, their PC in India, and a bunch of people in India, this video is going viral now, and several people, nodes in India, now have the video and are feeding a bunch of other people the video locally. So now it doesn't have to buffer and it's taking too long. Nope, because it's all localized. So I can just picture the system we have today completely changing, and that being where it's at. And THETA is at the forefront of it. So I can see just an absolute premier content delivery system. That is THETA. Month after month, year after year, making massive leaps and bounds, and you seeing my ugly face on here the entire time. Hey guys, THETA 60 cents. Hey guys, THETA $1.20. Hey guys, JSnip, THETA's over $2 now. Hey guys, it's $5. Hey guys, THETA, you still got your THETA, I hope, right? You listened all these years, right? It's been 2.5 years. It's now $18. You still got it, right? Okay, good. Hey guys, me again. It's 4 years now. THETA's $180. Hey guys, Snippy here. It's been 5 years. Man, it's been a while, hasn't it? I'm 45 years old now, right in the future. THETA's pushing $800, guys. Please tell me you still got it. Like you didn't sell all of it. Tell me you got some. You only need THETA to do that. All these other cryptos, I love them all. I love me some Litecoin. You know me. Love all these ones I'm in, as a matter of fact. But I don't know if I'm loving them as much as I'm loving THETA now. You know, because Litecoin has been my favorite coin like forever. And I still have a lot of my Litecoin. But when I pulled the trigger the other day to get me some more THETA and Digibyte and the key, I said, you know what? I'm gonna take a little bit of my Litecoin away and do that transaction. Convert it into Bitcoin, then take the Bitcoin and buy some Theta, Digibyte, the key. And I did use some Litecoin. And again, I used to tell myself, like, find another way, you know, dig into my bank account or something, don't touch that damn Litecoin. And I still mostly feel that way. But when I saw my main target being Theta, and I'll get some Digibyte and the key anyways, it was a little easier to relinquish some of those Litecoin to make that happen. Because again, Theta is one of these cheap coins. Michelle White Dove said you're going to see people coming in to get these penny coins. Why? No other reason other than, hey, I got a lot of those. That's it. Got a lot of those. That's cool. Oh, okay. You want 5 Litecoin, or do you want, 30,000 Theta? Or, not that you'd get that many, but 3,000 Theta or something, whatever it is. Well, 5 of something or 3,000 of something sounds better to me. Again, it's just math. Whatever happens, happens. So, in order for Litecoin to do what she thinks Theta's going to do, I mean, she basically said the same for both. They'd both be thousands. But do you want something that's pennies right now, as in 20.5 cents, going to thousands, or do you want something that's already today $106 going to the thousands? Still, not that you're going to be upset. Hell, even $1,000, almost 10 times move right there on Litecoin. But $1,000 in Theta right now, oh my God, you are filthy rich at that point. So, I'm patient. I'm totally willing to wait. Again, all my stuff is paid off, except the house. I'm waiting on that. Hopefully, like I said, by the end of September, things are looking quite good, and I don't have to tell Evelyn, look, let me go ahead and pay this house off. The market's been depressed for the last 3 months. $300 billion market cap, whatever it is. And now it's going to be a little more painful to pay the house off because it's going to cost me even more. But since it has not moved in 3 flipping months, that's bothering me a little bit. Let me go ahead and get this house paid off so I can get that off the back of my mind and your mind. And I'd have to go do that. And I'll be honest with you, of all my coins that I have, I'd be looking at all of them, okay, to take some of that off. I'd have to sell a huge portion of my Litecoin, maybe all of it, who knows, and then maybe some other coins, but I'll tell you the one coin I would not touch in that process. In other words, my plan B, Theta, wouldn't touch even one of them. It would stay right there. I'd sell off my whole damn portfolio minus Theta if the worst freaking case scenario was staring us in the face and I had to sell practically everything off just to pay my house off because the market was so depressed by the end of December or September. But I could leave my Theta behind. I'd leave my Theta behind. That's how much I think Michelle White Dove will be, and I'll say it this way, will be correct at least somewhat. Thousands of dollars Theta, I don't know. Hundreds of dollars, it's possible. How many times do I gotta tell you, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin, all of them start off in pennies, went to dollars, tens of dollars, hundreds, and thousands. Even, Litecoin. Much as I love Litecoin, it's $106 for one of these things. It doesn't have a, contract or DApp capability, at least not yet. Or like, what Neo does, or Ethereum, where you got these coins that ride on the blockchain and do different things. It doesn't have that. The Lightning Network's still not out yet. Yet it's $100-something. It has that old name brand recognition. So, don't think for a second some of these coins can't and won't do what those other ones have. Especially one like Theta that is taking the reins and just running with them. Just going. Full steam ahead. So, that's it. It's Monday morning. Got to get my phone reprogrammed, my desk phone. And got some work to do at work. So, a little early here actually. But anyways, let's see what happens the rest of the week. Remember that chart from the 7th to the 15th. Could we go down a little bit more? We could. We'll see. Take care.